will call the meeting to order. And let me just jot down names, not that I won't remember, but I always write them at the top of my list, so I know who's here. Sometimes I should write down my own name, so I know that I'm here. Okay, so the first thing, the minutes.
So
I second. All right. All those in favor? Thank you. So let's see, I'd been texting and emailing and with Wade and about the porta potty and the roll-off. And he answered me last week and said he'd been going round and round with both companies saying that they're not theirs. And if I could get him a picture. So I was in Winthrop and I said, I'll stop there right now. So I took pictures of, the name on the side of them and sent him that. So they could see that they,
It's theirs.
they're theirs and they need to come and get them. So,
As long as they're still charging us a monthly fee for
well,
those,
and that's
bet they are.
and I
to
said,
try.
well, they're gonna try and I'm gonna say, I'm not paying anything from.
who emptied it?
They obviously, they dumped they took a big roll off because the roll off that was there was taller. So they picked up a full roll off and left an empty one, and as opposed to.
That's what they usually do.
Yeah, taking it and leaving, nothing, and being done with it. But anywho, but they were out of here by the beginning of end of June. So after that, I'm gonna say July and August,
Yeah.
we're not our responsibility, because unless somebody was going in there just to use the porta potty because they wanted to, beyond that. So anyhow, he said he can't make the meeting, but he can send me the invoice on the handrails, because I was trying to get the invoice on the handrails, so we'd have that as to give to the grantor for the front handrails as opposed to the paved ramp. And he should have a quote from the insulator. Andrew also said that he tried to get a hold of Brandon to talk with him more about Roxel versus
Well, listening to some of the rings we all have, it's like,
Yeah.
to Roxel versus foam insulation and about the breathability, but Andrew and Paul still think the better thing for brick is Roxel as opposed to the sprayed insulation.
Paul and I talked about that a week or so ago. He was up on one of my projects.
Oh,
And I asked his opinion.
yes,
And he said that he didn't think spray foam, he said it affects the dew point
Yes.
inside the brick.
yeah,
And he said if the brick don't breathe on both sides, they'll start spalling off on the
Yes.
outside
yes.
in cold weather, because the
Yeah.
moisture gets trapped inside and it freezes and breaks the outside.
Yeah, but we don't want to do that.
Exactly. So,
What about foam around the windows? Is that okay or?
Oh yeah, around the windows, I can't
Yeah.
imagine. Just not on the face of the brick.
not on the face of the brick, so,
But that's pretty much what, but when the guys from Nickerson O'Day were down, one of those guys was supposedly this expert on building envelopes,
mhm.
and he was supposed to get back to us, but we never did hear anything. from him.
Yeah, so he said, and so he'll look for that quote from that insulator and see what it is, because, as we know, I don't want to say it, but we're getting closer to winter every day. And he said that there will be at least one small invoice that will be coming up to wrap up things aside from any shared savings. I think it was around $1,500. I have to dig into that sort of shared savings provisions there are on this project. I have the girls at the office called on the dumpster and the toilet again, so hopefully those will get taken care of this week. The photos you sent were very helpful. to prove, yeah. AAA porta toilets, that is your porta toilet. Come port it out of here. So, and Andrew, there was no invoice this month from Paul Design. So those were the updates I had on that. And I put in the invoice from Nickerson and O'Day. I dated it May because it went from like May to July, so I just put it in the May slot. And that ends up leaving us around 50,000 in remaining. And Nickerson and O'Day, it ends up leaving like 36. So part of the money remaining is Paul Design as well. So if we have, if it comes in around, 20 or 25 and we have 10 left, then that would make me feel good about having 10 left to have some heat plus whatever we bring in from the raffle. And, but it all depends on what that insulation budget, insulation estimate comes in from the.
What was the insulation estimate from Brandon?
1944.71, so it was just shy of $20,000, so I'd assume it
I would
would,
think Roxel would be cheaper than
Cheaper.
Sprayful.
exactly, I'm hoping,
I never really did a cost comparison to the two, but
yeah, I don't know, so at least if we got that in there before we had to turn on the heaters,
well, that'd make a big help.
it would make a big
And the
difference.
ceiling too, or at least in that other room.
Yeah, exactly, and, then you and I can figure out when we need to come turn on the heater since you have a key.
December,
Yeah, exactly.
just when it starts getting below freezing a lot, I mean,
Exactly.
it'll stay quite warm in there for
Exactly.
quite a period of time.
Yeah, because it wasn't until about then last year when they got them in and hooked up and running anyway.
I don't remember what it was, but it was late.
Yeah, so then we can figure out that, and then I'll tell Justin when to restart the,
So this number of 50,000 left includes this invoice from Nick O'Day?
it includes this invoice from Nickerson and O'Day.
Okay,
So,
Remaining balance or remaining what we owe?
so
remaining budget,
remaining in the budget on 5986. 50,000, essentially $51,000 remaining. Part of that, is what is left with Paul Designs, close to 12,000. But what's remaining in Nickerson and O'Day's line, is 36. So, wherever that ends up taking us, once we see that estimate, we can make a decision about the insulation. So I'll keep, asking him for that, and hopefully we can get that so we can move forward with that.
I mean, the 12,000 that Paul Design has left over, and they're billing us hourly, correct? So,
Only when, we only get an invoice, like Andrew wasn't on our meeting last month. So the only time we get an invoice is like if they're on a meeting for us or work on something specific. So there was no invoice for us this month.
okay, so
because-
basically, if the project stalls out now, we'll have that 12K
Yes,
approximately
exactly.
left over.
Work with too. I'd assume so. I mean, and, I'm sure that to get that number, we can see where it lands us and then have a discussion with
Yeah, well,
Paul about.
I'm kind of glad
where-
that this Nick O'Day one was, I was predicting that could be as much as 50.
Yeah,
I was really
I was
nervous.
scared it could be as much as 50.
oh, yeah.
Being what it is, that's not as bad.
And we got
Especially
about,
when it was so long that,
Yeah,
Since May.
over quite a period of time, and there was a lot of stuff on the.
there wasn't a lot, I mean, in one of the previous invoices was the Cody Crane bill. And I found out something very interesting today about Cody Crane, thanks to you in the email that you forwarded on to the select board about the property. So one of the Cody Crane family members lives on Warren Road. Right around the corner from you. And I was considering sending him a letter and to Cody Crane saying, you know, you did the rigging on our bell tower. Would you consider making a donation to the project? You live in Monmouth.
Do it.
Kind of thing. And seeing, I mean, yes, we've already paid their bill, but seeing how there's,
Is, the guy that works there, is he one of the principals or just,
his
work?
last name is Cody.
Well, that means he's, I would say he's the principal, but,
His last name is Cody, so,
okay.
yeah, yeah. And I'd assume, you know, from the tone of the email, has children that are still, you know, younger, so in the house, so some generation of Cody, but I would think that if I drafted up a letter and emailed it to him and an email that I'll find on Cody Crane, so it's not just going to him and ask
Mhm.
that, you know, since he is a Monmouth resident, so. And like I always say, all they can say is no.
Right.
You don't ask anything to ask.
That's what we're doing, Chris.
Yeah,
So,
even if they throw $1,000 our way, that's.
exactly,
$1,000.
$1,000 more than we had before, so I will draft that letter and, you know, just come up with a nice little thing, you know. I do use artificial intelligence now to write things, because boy, it can clean things up really nicely and kind of put in words, because you tend to, when you
50
write
centers?
stuff- well, but sometimes you write things and use the same words over and over
Yeah.
again, and they clean that stuff, it cleans that stuff up and fixes words. It's quite handy at times, so.
Mrs. Ham would say, please don't use that again.
I know, and so would Mrs. Lovejoy, and so would Mr. Ludwig,
So with Mrs. Ludwig, I had her for 8th grade, where you use this word a lot,
yes.
because I can spell it.
Yes. So, so I'll send that letter out and see what we get for a response.
Doesn't hurt.
No, that is essentially, I think, where we are with whatever, you know, is happening and going on. The one thing I haven't done, and I will speak to Justin, you wanted to know about ringing the bell.
Yes.
And I've got to, he was gone last week to a conference, so they were both, he and Lori out of the office, so I didn't really have anybody to ask, so I will speak to him tomorrow.
Because the boys play at 5 and the girls play at
Oh, the
7.
girls are playing 7 o'clock.
Yeah, the girls have the night game.
Oh, really?
That's the last,
I didn't think that I asked him for a schedule.
Where are they?
Even
playing
though-
the lights?
they're here.
They're
They're renting the lights like they've done in the past. But I believe it's 5 for the boys and 7 for the girls, and I think there's a JV game.
So there's a JV game at 3.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, the girls are at 7.
Yeah,
Yeah, and the boys are at 5.
I
so-
think, it just, it'd
Yeah.
be nice. Just, maybe I can try to find out from the coaches what time they're gonna walk, like the boys will walk down to the field.
Yes,
And you could ring it, the girls will walk down. It depends, is the boys' game, if it runs long or something, but it just like, if we
yeah,
could.
and I have a key to that, so. And the rope is down through the thing in the front part, I assume.
I'm not gonna have to climb up and try to find it.
Oh, come on. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Probably ought to check, but it
Yeah.
was there last time I noticed. I
Yeah.
can't imagine it flew out of there on its
So
own.
I'll check and we'll find out what Justin thinks or who can go in there, whether, you or me or whatever, go in there and ring and find out the word on that. So, because I'll be there, I'm gonna be there selling raffle tickets and throws. And Brandon said, happy to have you. So the principal said, happy
Is
to
it hard?
have you.
Is it like Can I practice?
It should be hard to ring. I don't know.
Is it like really heavy? Okay, okay.
Just like doing a few chin-ups.
Yeah.
Hello. Okay.
Well,
So I will ask about that, but I will be there. And I'm just gonna figure out, is there still a snack? I haven't been down there.
Snack
so long.
shack, yes.
So I'll set up next to the snack shack.
That, it's kind of on a
on the
slant. Yeah, and the boosters will be, the snack shacks here, the boosters will be here in the parking area, and then on either side of the handicap parking. A lot of the kids, different classes will, it comes down the slope and they'll set up right there. But if you could set up closest to the snack shack, I would.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah,
plan. So
yeah.
I'm packing a cooler and
Yeah.
taking long pants, long
Yeah.
shirts and
I have to
whatever, because I'm gonna be there for 6 hours anyway, from 3 to 9.
Well, I have to
anyway.
make chop suey. It has to be there for 5 o'clock and they'll be
Yeah.
chilly and,
Cause I know if I'm gonna park down there with all my crap, I need to get down there
and
before the JV
Yes,
game starts,
yes.
so.
yes. You could actually, seriously, what you could do is, have someone follow you, drop your car off early, like,
Yeah.
at noon
Oh,
and
yeah,
park there.
yeah,
And then have someone just drop you off.
yeah,
That's what we've done in the past.
yeah, that way,
Cause it's gonna be crowded.
Oh, it's gonna be
It usually-
crowded. plus having all my stuff, so I might do that and somebody.
Yep.
Or I could walk, cause it really isn't that far home, so. I haven't had my walk yet that day, and I'll be standing one spot for 6 hours. I'll figure it out, so, anyway, but, before we get into all of that fun stuff, we'll just do nobody has any other updates or budget or anything like that, or we can talk about, the ongoing issue with spending money. So I think the consensus was, since the town didn't approve the 8450 for utilities for the building, they felt that no more money could be expended other than general maintenance of mowing and weed whacking. That was the consensus. Correct.
Yep.
So,
Well, with this new, evaluation, if the mill rate doesn't come down,
well, it
you
has to
know,
come.
you'll,
it's gonna be a revolt.
they're gonna have all kinds of money. Mine went up
No, they
triple.
won't.
My house went up triple and my camp went up 2.5 times.
And my camp went up triple,
Yeah, and I don't have a foundation under
and
it.
my house doubled.
Yeah.
Yep.
You remember what you sold me mine for, right?
Mhm.
You can add 4 to that.
No.
So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, that's not gonna affect anything, because all it does is, it's just an adjustment. It doesn't, in the long run,
Mhm.
It did get people upset though.
it does.
Oh.
But I mean, we knew it was coming for 2 years and we need to do it by state law, correct? It has to be done, so it's not like we
What's the
can't.
evaluation?
Yes.
I didn't realize that was state law.
Oh,
Well,
yes.
it's statute,
policy.
so.
Just to give you a heads up.
I figured just the town decided they needed money, so.
No.
What does it cost, to have that appraisal done?
I don't remember. Do you remember the
How much?
250,000.
250,000? Yeah, see, I don't remember numbers. I'm terrible remembering numbers. But the thing is, if you don't, right now, you're getting 72% of your homestead exemption. Once this is in place, you're gonna get 100% of your homestead exemption. So there's a lot of things that,
There's a lot of things that impact it.
Impact.
Usually it's a
Mhm.
third, a third, and a third.
Mhm.
Third stays the same, third goes up,
Yeah.
third goes down.
yeah,
And so when it plays out in the end, it's just a shift
Yes.
distribution of those who have and those who don't have.
yeah.
Have you looked at Steve Colenda's spreadsheet?
Steve Galenda's spreadsheet?
Oh, yes, he did one.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
It's on Facebook, I think.
Oh, I don't do that.
And it'll give you an idea of whether you're taxes will go up or down.
He knows what that is.
I can't remember what it was under, Doug.
That's why I don't. So somebody asked me if I was taking it personally. I said, why? Are they saying things about me personally? I mean, it's not like I, have any control over what that, number is. Talk to the people that are buying homes in Monmouth and paying, 3 times what they were 5 years ago. So, it is what it is. So, but anyway, but that's kind of the consensus of where we are with that. All I can say is next Monmouth Messenger, that was the other thing I wanted to talk about and have you folks tell me what kind of things you want put in there, because in the Messenger, I'm gonna do kind of information about the academy, what we plan on using it for, capacity.
Do we have an updated picture from the outside and perhaps the inside that we could do, that you could put in it? Will he let us? put
Yeah,
pictures in it?
usually if there's room, we get a picture, so, I think then I'll make sure that we have one of the current pictures on there. And then also the fact that with a full-time rec director, if we plan on utilizing and having a full-time rec program, where are those rec programs going to happen? Because if they do before and after care or any evening rec things, adult rec crafts, whatever it may be, cribbage. If we're having a meeting in here, where are they going to have rec programs? Or if they're having before and after rec for kids, if it's in here, how do we vote? That's a 3-day process. You gotta set up, vote, and tear down. So those would be 3 days that you wouldn't be using. Oh, sorry, we don't have before and after care for 3 days around an election.
Could you have the new recreational director actually write in the messenger what he plans for that?
I'm gonna include him in saying, do you agree with my message about
Okay.
what we need for space? And because he'll have his own column now that he's up and running.
Okay,
So my plan is including him when I send it out to you folks, after I get it written, I'm gonna send it out to you folks and him and say, are you okay with this? Do you have any input? Do you want me to change anything? And ask him, are you okay talking about this, about the rec program, in conjunction with this building? In the short conversation I had with him on the night out, I know we're kind of on the same page about that. But I haven't sat down and had, a big, long conversation. I just talked with him about the night out, because if you want to have full-time rec programs, there's no place to do it,
School's not gonna let you use the school.
School's not
And-
gonna-
And
yeah.
as you said, because that was one of the first things Todd said, was during election, they can't be here if they have, things scheduled for after-school care.
Yeah. Yeah,
And is after-school care going to be only until 5, or is it gonna be till
Exactly.
7?
yeah.
What are they planning?
Or, and the call for things has been about adult programs. That's what people have been asking for. Adult recreation, clubs, art, you name it. It could be anything, but there's a lot of older people that aren't, in school age that are asking for things in the community. And so where do we do it? There's no place to do it other than this room. And if this room is scheduled for meetings, which it is usually at least 2 or 3 nights a week, then you're SOL. So, But, so that's kind of the information. I had Andrew look at the numbers with me again about capacity and how many people can fit, with chairs and without chairs and tables and that type of thing. So and that it will be rented, under the same guidelines as Cumston is. If you're a resident, it's this price. If you're a non-resident, it's this price. And Dennis and I talked about, what those numbers would be and how he does it for Cumston. So it's hardly anything to rent rooms at Cumston for things if you're a town resident, the lower level or whatever, but he has set, fees for those, and then we do the same up here, that if you were going to rent it for a bridal shower or something and you lived in Monmouth, it would be this amount, and you would have use of the catering, kitchen and the large room and that type of thing. So I think trying to get that information out, I don't know what more we can do, because I think there was so much misinformation out there perpetuated by other groups. So, hopefully we'll, get the information out there. One of the questions I was asked at the select board meeting was when we were going to, make a decision about throwing in the towel.
Excuse me?
Exactly. And I said, no, that's not gonna happen.
Is someone on the select board?
Yes.
So did you tell them we got $1.7 million loan?
I know, exactly. So,
I find that really bothers me, to think that someone on the board who has been elected by the people has the audacity to ask that question.
And what exactly do they mean, throwing in the towel? What does that mean?
making a decision that we're not going to, well, that wasn't the words that were used.
Okay.
I don't remember the exact words that were used about when we were gonna, make a decision about
What do they think you're gonna do? Demo it now?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Sell
I mean,
it.
you spent this much money.
Exactly.
Or sell it to a junk dealer who's gonna put a junkyard
I
there?
know, but the point I made was, we still have, this historic preservation bond that we fought so hard
Yes.
to change the parameters of, to be able to apply for it. But the legislature tabled, or whatever word I'm looking
I know.
for there,
Then postpone.
well, they bound it over, carried it forward to, the next session. So that's not even put to bed yet. We have, this bond with money available that we'll be able to.
Well, and the other
Yeah.
thing is, our hands have been tied for a lot of the grants, is because we haven't got an audit that's up
Yeah.
to date.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Still don't have that?
no,
We're one more year ahead, but we're
that's
essentially
still behind.
2 years behind.
2 years behind.
so 2 years behind. So, and that all started with COVID, that we couldn't have people in the office to do any of the work, so.
Well, it's harder and harder to find
Find-
auditors
right,
who are gonna do the
When
work.
listening to the meeting,
Yeah.
this week, this gentleman sounded like he's willing to do it.
Yes.
But they also, the reevaluation you can't set what the mill rate's gonna be, because they haven't gotten all the facts and all the numbers to you guys. And so they're being charged $100 a day
Yeah,
for not having given the report.
yeah, they haven't finished, so, yeah.
When are you planning on committing taxes
We're having
with the new
a,
numbers?
we're having,
Christmas.
we're
We're all gonna have to
having,
send them at Christmas.
we're having a special town meeting on October 1st to change the commitment to, November 1st.
But what if we don't have
Because-
it? What if we don't have the information?
We will have it, because there's a drop dead date. I mean, they're having meetings right now. So once that's done, they're just finishing plugging the numbers in.
19th,
Yeah.
maybe.
And- And Donna Hayes was very, involved in saying when she needed the numbers by. And we're also, and it could be sooner, because we're, planning worst case scenario as opposed to best case scenario of when they hand over the final packet. So, but, so that's that part.
So the commitment won't be until November?
No, with,
No.
taxes would be due.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yes.
the due date will
The due
be
date.
November.
So if those numbers come and you get them, can we immediately start getting forward so that we're one more year caught up? Because that's
Well,
really tying.
So, but the reeval doesn't have any.
Well, he was saying that there had to be reports done.
Oh, no, that's from
In
no,
order
the
to-
reports
for
from,
auditing.
because we have an outside accountant. We have an accountant that we no longer have somebody that does accounting in the building, because that was another issue, because we've had 4 different finance people in the town office that left or were on vacation. So if they were on vacation, no bills were getting paid or anything like that, because they were the financial person. And at one point, I think that girl's name was what, Kelly or whatever, was it called Kelly? So anyway,
No.
so what,
Person, right?
so when we had made the decision to use an outside accounting firm, so there was never a lapse in when bills were paid, or, you know, there was always somebody there with this outside accounting firm. So the matter is, the accountant has to put together a pre-audit package. And, you know, he just has to pull the pre-audit package together and send it out. And of course, August is always straggling bills coming in for the previous fiscal year and all of that, so, but that doesn't have any bearing on the new assessment, so.
It's just it has really hindered Steve, because they always come back and say, do you have a budget? Have you been audited? Do you have current budget information? Auditing.
And now we've got one more year, that's in the bed, I mean, we've got that one done, so it's essentially, you know.
Will they take that?
But there's no more, I mean,
They would take, but once you have 2023,
3, we just did.
you just got in.
yeah,
Okay, so you still haven't got 24 in. So you're only one really.
exactly,
You're
really,
behind.
because we just finished fiscal year, you know.
So
in
would they
July.
accept
You would-
that?
They usually look for 2 years.
Yes,
Or so, and you have the 22, and now you have the 23.
23,
So
yeah.
and they may question why you don't have a current 124. but,
Right.
There's a lot of answers you can give, but the honest answer is you don't have enough auditors out there doing the
Exactly,
work.
exactly,
And the ones that are doing the work are so overwhelmed,
yes,
that they can't get it done.
yeah. And, you know, the school's in the same boat,
Yeah.
they're 2 years behind, so,
There's one auditor who does both schools and towns, and some of the towns I've been in, there's been mistakes made because he's trying to get them done in a hurry
yeah.
and doesn't.
Casey said that one of the gentlemen that did a lot of northern Maine towns passed away right in the middle of the 60 audits he was working on last year.
And you're still using RKO, right? 60.
Yeah. So, yeah, so, I mean, and like they said, there's just not anybody out there coming in, graduating CPAs or people that are interested in doing that kind of work, so it's really difficult.
So in order for you to reapply, you'd have to, as soon as that's
There's
available?
certain ones I can't reapply to. We've applied twice to the Stephen King Foundation, and now we have to wait another whole year
Yes.
before we can do it.
Right,
Alphont Foundation, which these are the biggies, are the ones who ask for audits. And right now, they're not even giving out money. They've said on their website, there's no applications coming in.
Yeah,
And Libra Foundation is the same thing. So
yeah,
everybody's being hit pretty hard for funding. There's a few coming up. We'll see.
yeah. So, you know, the big thing that we're waiting on is the legislature going back into session and coming up with whether or not they remove the fiscal note or approve the fiscal note for that preservation bond. And once that is decided, Historic Preservation will come up with their application
Yeah.
and then have that available. So,
They attached a $25,000 administration
Yes.
fee for the preservation group to process all the paperwork.
yeah,
Late in the game for that one, but so that's what we're waiting on. And once that is approved, and it could be done early January,
Yeah.
they go into session.
yeah,
And then once it gets approved, they have to put together the application.
Yes.
And it'll be interesting to see what they come up with.
So that brings up another point then. Like Caprera, the kitchen equipment they wanted to give, if we could have them deliver it and just store it in the building, then we could use that for matching money. So in other words, the state grant, we have to come up with 25% match. So if we have that equipment in our possession, it was at $20,000, you said, we could say, well, we got $20,000 donated.
right, yeah,
And the same with the AARP tables, that Mary Beth is working on. If she could give us $1,000 worth of tables and we store them over there, then that's another $1,000 that we can match. And if Steve could write for an art grant, I don't know if you got a mess, all those art grants, but to install that statue,
yeah.
if we got an art grant for, say, $20,000, then that could be,
And
for a match.
the
Then that would,
line that I haven't, added to was, right now, without the $10,000 AARP accessibility grant, we're at 97,850. So whether or not the 97,850 that we've raised from donations is part of what we've already raised, so.
Is that what's the balance in our bank at this point?
What's left?
Yeah.
So what's left is, remaining is 59,886. 50,986,000. The blue line right under total phase one, remaining
Okay.
phase one budget.
Yeah.
But that is not,
And does that include the
Including-
87.5?
it does, but that is not, that's 87.5 is not a true number because I haven't added the most recent donations to it. So if you add 10 to that, because we're essentially at 97,850, so we'd be at 69,86. So plus then Mary Beth's, that takes us to,
Are we,
107,000.
are we being charged to use Cumston Hall for the fundraiser, or are they donating that?
No, town groups don't have to pay, municipal groups don't have to pay. So,
so what about those round tables? Should we ask Mary Beth to order us some?
yeah, I had emailed her back about that, so let me find,
She just got back into town yesterday, so she's been away. Chuck.
so, so she said, we were talking about tables, and I thought 6-foot round tables that fit 12 people as opposed to smaller tables are a better idea because,
Yeah, no.
and then she talked about whether we could need chairs. I said, we don't need chairs. I've got like 200 chairs, so I don't need chairs. So she said we could definitely do tables and we'd end up being able to, so what did she say? 3 6-foot tables and 4 5-footers. So then there's 7 tables. But I also replied and said, yeah, I mean, we're fine with going ahead with the handrails as opposed to the paving, just because there's so many moving parts with that I don't think it makes.
No, you're right.
sense to
And if it's acceptable, then let's do it.
yeah,
Get it done.
exactly. So, I mean, I'll respond to her, but we can make it a formal vote to move forward with the handrails as opposed to the
I move that we use the handrails for the AARP $10,000 fund.
Second.
All those in favor? Okay, so there, we have a formal vote on that.
What
And,
about the tables? Do we need to vote on those or?
Yeah.
I mean,
If you want.
so I think she was saying 6-foot tables and 5-foot tables, they're round tables, so, you know, but for events like, you know, showers and things, then I think that is always, you know, round tables are easier. And also for meetings, you know, we deal with that all the time, people that are hard of hearing.
Right.
If you're sitting at a round table, you can kind of see everybody around you, so.
I think they fold up very
Yes.
nicely so that they're easy to move around.
Yeah, they're those white Lifetime tables that come in rectangular, but they're, I think, round instead, so. Is everybody okay with, 6-foot and 5-foot tables?
Yep, I think that would be good.
All right, so
Yeah,
And they can
motion for that.
store without any damage to.
go right ahead, we'll make it formal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So moved.
So seconded.
Okay.
In favor.
So, that's where we are with that. Any other things that you, back to the messenger, is there any other things you want me to put in there as I draft this before the end of the month? I'll send it to everybody to read.
One of the things
So,
we should probably talk about is this bond that we're waiting for
Okay.
in January. You're gonna have to have a 25% match. How much money do we want to ask for? Because we gotta make sure we have the matching funds.
Right.
And that is something that probably could go into your messenger, that this is what, if Wade can get you a final number of what we have remaining in costs,
Mhm.
Yeah,
then we could better
Yeah.
predict what our needs are.
and that's what I'm saying, Caprera kitchen equipment, if we actually had physical possession of it, we can then claim it.
Yeah.
As a donation.
They might want to do that too, so that they can get
Before
their,
taxes.
right,
Their taxes, yeah, coming
Yeah.
towards the end of the year.
right.
You're
Say
right.
we did donate this in
Yeah,
2025.
I think my only hesitancy is having it in the building is the security of that, plus since none of the floors are finished, you know, the fact of moving it around and how much of a.
It would cause problems down the road to a
Yes.
degree.
Having-
Having to move it around back and
Yeah.
forth as the building is being finished.
Yeah, that was my only hesitancy, because we kind of talked about it before, but, you know, I don't think Carl will renege on that. I think he'll stay true to his word that if we end up asking for it in the future, I think he'll be happy to be part of that.
But I understand exactly what
Yeah.
you're saying. It's like, it could help us,
with the matching.
Yeah.
right, with the matching.
Cause, you know, we're gonna
You know,
need
so
at least
what-
100,000
Yeah.
or more.
Yeah,
Well, if
To
you're
get
gonna ask for
400,000.
300,000, it's gonna cost you 75.
Yeah.
You know, those are things to keep in mind.
Yes.
But we don't have a final cost
Yeah,
that's accurate at this point.
yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, it was, the last, when Steve Burton did it, it was ranging from 700 to 900
Oh my
from
gosh.
one end to the other. So, you know, that's the
That's
number we
because
were
of the
looking.
heating system and everything.
Yeah, heating and, we will have, I think, checked some of the things off. If we can get the insulation done, I think that was in there, but that's kind of a drop in the bucket compared to the
Yeah.
rest of the interior stuff. Because when you start doing plumbing and
I was
electrical
just gonna say,
That's when
bathrooms and sinks
you-
are gonna be expensive.
and finishes end up getting expensive, so. So whether or not, you know, they take, you know, the 100,000 that we've already, raised, you know, we still will need to
Is there
come
some
up
way of
with.
finding it out, Steve, what they would consider on that or?
I mean, what do they consider matching funds? I mean, do they consider the things? that you already-
In-kind services are matching funds. Inside, if somebody donates equipment, that can be matching funds.
Yeah,
Um,
but if it's already been raised and we have raised that already, does that still count? That's, yes,
If it's been raised and you have the money in the bank, you have, that can be used
Okay.
for matching funds.
okay,
And then you appreciate whatever we have for equipment that's being donated,
yeah,
and put a value on that, and that's it. You've already purchased tables, that you can use that.
mhm,
Just gotta shake the trees more.
yeah, it's,
you know?
and none of us won Powerball last night, so.
I know.
Check today, so. Finished it, so. So. I'll make sure I have that information in there as well, so. I'll work on that this week and get it ready for, Dennis before the end of the month, so. Okay, so we'll move on to the invoices. So we have the Nickerson O'Day invoice for $28,364.37.
I move we pay Nicholson and O'Day.
I'll second that.
All those in favor? And, the other thing on there, he did give us about $9,000 back for the things that had
But Aaron's rework.
reworked. Yeah, so that was a nice thing because he and I had a long conversation about that and he went back and worked through those numbers. So he came back to us with that, so. But we'll, so we'll get some information about the insulation, hopefully. And if I get it before the next meeting, then I'll circulate it and we can talk about it. And if we need to say, yes, we'll move ahead with this, then we'll make sure we,
How long would it take them to install that rock wool? I mean, is that something that a crew went in there, they could do it in a few days or
2 days.
2 days? Okay.
I mean, those guys are fast.
Yeah, exactly. They don't mess around.
That'd be good. Be great to have that done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't take long to do it.
Yeah,
It wouldn't take long. I mean, they usually come in and insulate a whole house in a day.
yeah. So fundraising, couple of things, one that doesn't amount to much, but you never know, and every little dollar helps is, I found out that Clink, you can be a charity on Clink and get bottle donations. So if you go on to Clink, if you have your Clink account on your computer and you search 1856 Monmouth Academy, it pops up and you can donate your bottle return money now to us. So quarterly, they'll direct deposit a check to the town. And so I've got bags and tags that I'm gonna have out at the fundraiser too. So if people want to take a bag and a tag and donate it that way, or you can donate your money on Clink. So not that that amounts to much, but it's a little bit here and there. You never know. A couple $100 might buy some more propane for us. So, and then these are, if anybody wants flyers to put out for Gary Crocker, he and I have been talking, and those are on cardstock if we want something different. And then these are the sell sheets for the raffle prizes. The raffle tickets, I don't care about addresses or emails. I just want people's name, phone number, and then on the email spot,
No. Okay.
the number raffle you want, the number prize you want your tickets put in for. So if you want one of the golf packages, then you would write down number 4 or whatever for the golf package. And then, when I've got these selling, I'm gonna have wide mouth quart mason jars with numbers on them that people can put their tickets in the corresponding raffle prize. So that's how these are working. So if anybody wants tickets, you can grab some tickets or a roll or whatever. Or if you know somebody that wants to buy them, one of the girls that I'm at the bank that I go to every Friday, she bought some because she wanted them for her granddaughter for the Children's Museum. So, you know,
Are any of these up yet?
I put one, so I took one into the post office.
Okay.
And Rose put up them at the post office for me, and this, I put them up at the town office and at the library, by the library door, and Dennis is putting one as you walk in the
Okay.
front doors of
I'll
Kingston.
drop this off at Quick Shop.
Okay, yeah. And so I posted it on the alumni page, as you
Yeah.
know, and also the restore page. And
I put it on my page a couple different times and I'll put it on again.
I had Chris Hayden reach out to me and sent me a check for raffle tickets, and I took care of her. She told me what she wanted them, and then the town office got a check today for raffle tickets, but it didn't say what prizes they wanted, so I found the woman's phone number because it wasn't on her check. And I called her and left her a message, and then I said, I think she's answered on a Facebook post one time, so I private messaged her on Facebook as well from the alumni page, and that was Gloria Hall.
Oh, yeah, Gloria, yes.
So I reached out to her to find out what prizes she wants her tickets put in for. So, and we have on the My Rec page, you can buy tickets to the Gary Crocker Show on the My Rec page. I went on to the Channel 6
Yes.
community thing, and I posted it on there.
Okay, and if you send it in, she'll announce it. 2 weeks prior, she does what's happening in Maine this weekend.
So where's that?
It's Channel 6, it's News Center 6.
If you find it,
Yeah.
send it to me.
Yeah, it's on Friday nights. She says, oh, and then, she always ends with, and if you're bored in Maine, then it's your own darn fault.
Yeah.
Okay, find it.
If you find that, because I've done it on their community calendar, it's on their community
Right,
calendar.
This
And
is
that's
her
free.
thing.
So,
This is free also.
I was gonna probably send it into Sunspots, because there's a lot of people that still read Sunspots. If they pay attention to the Lewiston paper anymore. And, so I, talked to Gary numerous times. Fred Durnley is going to do like a 5-minute opening act.
Good for him. Good for him.
For Gary. Dennis is gonna be there and do a warm-up anyway, for everybody. And then Lori has gotten some of the future business at BLA. They're going
be
to help
downstairs.
with us selling raffle tickets and getting people checked in through the door. And on the My Rec page, Dennis can see every time people buy tickets ahead of time, and it's been pretty good. He's been seeing people buying tickets, so, and that, since that's a town account, we're not gonna lose fees on that. There's no fees taken out because you just have to create a My Rec page. The other thing that I'll probably do is if people, that night, if they don't have cash or whatever, have them Venmo money to either Darlene or Jeff. And then they'll pay Darlene or Jeff, and Darlene and Jeff will write a check, for if they don't, because it's kind of cumbersome on your phone to set up a My Rec account, but, so we'll work it that way, but I'll have all of this stuff at the, homecoming on Friday, and then I will also be at Apple Fest. And if anybody wants raffle tickets, we'll meet up. And if they're out of state even, and then they win, like the Bates Comforter, I will ship it to them. I have a shipping account because that's what I do with all of my stuff at sending it back to my offices so I can ship stuff and it'll be no charge. If they're out of state or not close by for me to drop it off or deliver it. So,
I'll get it, because I can't find
Yeah.
it online, but I'll get
That's
it.
fine.
And you have to, she likes to have it in two weeks in
2 weeks ahead of
advance.
time.
Yeah.
So, the museum did a nice, this is a list of what the museum gave us. We have one of the authors in the room, the museum books. So we've got, that's the books that will be in the museum donation. We have a beautiful handmade quilt that Rita Howard, I had Rita Howard stitch the, Nancy's tag on it for me,
Excellent.
because I was like, I can barely sew a button up, so I knew Rita would do it, and Rita was happy to. So there's a lot of different things for a lot of different, what people, men, women, kids, there's all different prices on there, so. And so they're $5 a piece or 6 for $20. So, which hopefully just makes people buy 6, so.
Can I buy some right now?
Of course.
Okay, so now I have to tell you, and you're gonna
Yeah.
hate me,
Yes.
but a year ago, I committed to being away the first weekend.
Oh, please, Lori. So.
But my family will all be there. I kept saying October 3rd. And I got my friendly reminder from these group of people that I'm going away with. Don't forget, Lori, we're meeting at blah, blah, blah. And I went, October 3rd. Oh,
So essentially, I just want everybody,
yeah, so.
the only
my
thing I
family
need
will
on
be
here
there.
is your name, your cell phone number, and then which prize
Okay.
or which raffle item, just number 1, number
Okay, yep.
8, whatever you want to put in for. And then the other side is yours. So
But you
if you write out,
just want 6.
yeah, but one's your side, this side is yours.
I see.
And then that side,
I
you'll
got
get
it.
back to me
Thank
after you tell me what side you want them for. So, Darlene and Corey will be there to help. We'll have the FBLA
Right.
people.
And I'll get you the
Anybody
names of them.
else? I mean, Dennis told me that he probably would be able to get some more help from, the Friends of Compton, because they'll be there to do lights and sound. 'Cause
Okay.
I know nothing about that. And I said, Dennis, if I need lights and sound, I need somebody that knows how to do it. So Dennis will have those folks there, but we'll make sure we have it manned. Jeff will be there because I told him he cannot do a soccer game that night or that day anywhere.
So do we know if Rudy or Gary have reached out to Angus?
I can talk to, I've been texting with Gary, so I can ask, Gary if he'll reach out to Angus and
And
say,
invite him.
come to our show and
But not for free.
leave us some money, so.
He and Mary, it'd be $40.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, so I'll find out that from him, but, does anybody have any questions or suggestions or input or anything about that?
I will get all the names, as soon as I have the names. They're having the meeting Thursday morning.
Okay.
And she'll ask those to sign up. And NHS, she only has 3 people.
Oh, exactly, because they have.
Because they changed
Yes.
their initiation from having it in May
Yeah.
to now you don't get selected until November.
Yeah,
So
that's always.
she
the
had
way it was
seniors
for us,
graduate,
too.
yeah. Seniors graduated, so she
No,
only
yeah.
had 3 juniors.
Yeah, exactly.
So she has 3 people, and I said, I wanted 3 people, and she goes, well, ask them. And I said, okay,
Yeah. Yep,
but I'll get you
So-
the names.
that sounds great. Is there anything else anybody wants to go over or discuss?
The new select person, does she seem favorable towards the project or?
The conversations I've had with Kayla about it, yes.
Okay, good.
So, we've had, one conversation when she first, well, actually, I don't think she was even on yet. She came to the meeting before she was sworn in. chatted a little bit then. And, she understands that we need space and to do things, you know, and that's a whole
You know what, I'll just one for Hannaford also.
interesting about it, so.
The credit union has one.
They do have one?
They don't know.
No, I haven't gone to the credit union
Okay,
yet.
I
No.
will do Hannaford and I'll do Quick Shop. Or not do, and not saying they'll do. Hey, I'll do the credit union.
I have more in the car if anybody needs it, that's fine, but, all right, so let's see. October, so we could do the 6th, let me check the town website to find out if there's anything on the calendar for October 6th. I don't see anything on October 6th. Does that look okay for you folks?
I won't be here.
Won't be here.
I'll be back.
West Coast.
Can you Zoom?
I'll be at a wedding in the evening.
Yes,
Congratulations.
yeah,
Great.
so, let's see.
And
And that would be the week before the select board meeting, so 10/6 at 6 o'clock. And anything else? Anybody else have any?
anything.
I'm working on a grant for the our work. It's a specific sales grants that hopefully we can,
For the what now?
for the artwork.
Oh, good. Oh, great.
Yeah. And I've never done an application to Northern Borders before, but I pulled them up today. They do a lot for municipal government and public sector stuff. And capital projects.
Yeah,
I've used them for public infrastructure. I haven't ever read one for them. So it's good to know. I'm shaking trees.
yeah, and you know, that's the thing. The other thing is, as I told folks, the building has to be owned by the municipal government to qualify for the historic preservation bond. It has to be town owned. So there's no way that I'm going to make it quasi municipal or third party or the other part is if we made it a nonprofit, and how would that even happen? We don't have any money to have a lawyer make it a nonprofit and draw up the paperwork and come up with all of the, you know, on rigmarole to make it a nonprofit. How would that even happen?
No, and you don't want to, because then you'd have to maintain it as a.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's, and essentially, I know it doesn't make any sense at all, to me anyway, but then again, sometimes I go, am I the only one? There's 6 of us here that think like this. Is there anybody else? So I don't know. It's very confusing to me, but, so that's where we are with that. But if nobody has anything
I move
else,
we adjourn.
perfect.